Good afternoon, I'm Chris Cooney. I'm president of the Metro South Chamber of Commerce, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this holiday-themed Good Day Metro South. On behalf of the Chamber, and especially our chair, Rich Hines, and also Dan Evans, who's also on our board, and I believe Ray DiPasquale is here, we want to wish you the merriest of Christmas and happy holidays from the Chamber of Commerce. As many of you know, the Chamber holds these programs regularly. It's a terrific opportunity to come together, reconnect with others, and learn from interesting speakers in a variety of fields. We have a very exciting lineup for today's program, which includes a presentation from the Treasurer's Office. We're going to hear about their new initiative on business assistance. We started working with the office, the Treasurer, about 2.5 years ago, and many of you saw the Treasurer speak at the Fuller Craft Museum when she came to speak, and you're going to hear from someone from the Fuller too. So we've got a great program for you. We have Erin McGough from the Children's Museum, the Fuller Museum, and we have Christine from the Children's Museum, as well as Glenn from Sharon Crescent Credit Union. So you're going to hear from all of them participating on our new Faces panel, which is a new feature we have here. We're also very happy to have Santa Claus with us here today. Let's have a round of applause for Steve Damon from Jack Conway Real Estate. One of the most convincing Santa Clauses I've ever seen. He said, if you pull on his beard, you're not going to be on the naughty list, that's for sure. We also have Rob Peters, DeFazio, here with us. Rob, many of you remember, has spent 20 years with us doing our sound and entertainment and whatnot for the Chamber. He's moved on to another position, but we asked him to come back and help us do a session on networking. So where's Rob? Raise your hand. Right here. Welcome back, Rob. He's with the BSA Scouts of America. So now, at this point, I'd like to introduce our MC for today. Some of you remember Dan Trout. He's been in the marketplace for the last 23 years. And has emceed these periodically. We asked him to pull out his Christmas socks and sweater to help lead us through today's program. So let's have a round of applause for Dan Trout from Northeastern Savings Bank. You see the socks that match the sweater.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Chris. I'd like to start by welcoming you all here to the Thorny Lee Golf Club on this sunny, cold day. Let's have a round of applause for Sharon Guthrie and the Thorny Lee staff for this wonderful meal. And before I get into the script, it's great working with Chris. You have a nice script here. But I just want to go into, I have two quick jokes. So the purpose of these jokes is that you can tell them and say that any joke that you tell after this will be better than the ones I tell. So first one is, what did the gingerbread person put on their bed? A cookie sheet. And then those for the knock knock jokes. Knock knock. Who's there? Scold. Scold who? Scold outside. So. See, it served its purpose. Everyone said, those are terrible. That's great. So now you can tell a better joke and feel good about yourself. All right, this morning, right now, we'd like to introduce the Chamber ambassadors who help greet you today. We have Brenda, I'll hold your applause to the end, Brenda Cairns from Old Colony Elder Services, Mary Jane Aneen, Combined Insurance of America, Richard Hook from SCU Credit Union, Felicita Sepulveda from Cape Verdean Association of Brockton, Steve Lucet from the Bank of Canton, Kadi Mascarenas from Brockton Redevelopment Authority, Kelly Tavares from Brockton Redevelop Authority, Marcy Venenzia from Above the Clouds, Steve Damon, otherwise known as Santa Claus, from Jack Conway, and Suzanne Fernandez from Northeastern Savings Bank. Let's give them a round of applause. So finally, I'd like to thank our elected officials, selected and state officials for their attendance today. Shirley Asak from the Brockton City Council is here. Eric Beckerman, Chairman of the Avon Board of Selectmen. John Buckley from the Plymouth County Registrar of Deeds. Senator Mike Brady, I think, is here or planned to be here, and Moses Rodriguez, City Councilor, as well as the Mayor's Office Representative, John Messina. Let's give him a round of applause. So today's Good Day Metro South program is being sponsored by Cambridge Savings Bank. Cambridge Savings Bank is a full-service bank institution with over $6 billion in assets. As a mutual bank, CSB is committed to improving the quality of lives of employees, customers, and the communities they serve, all their stakeholders. One of the oldest, I think I looked up 1830s, and largest community banks in Massachusetts, Cambridge Savings Bank offers a full line of individual and business banking services and has branches located Arlington, Bedford, Belmont, Burlington, Cambridge, Charlestown, Concord, Lexington, Newton, and Watertown. There'll be a test later. At this time, I'd like to introduce our interviewer for today's program, Attorney Masa Kambabe of Kambabe Immigration Law. Masa will interview our sponsor for today, John Bobbin, Senior Lending Officer at Cambridge Savings Bank. Come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Is this working now? Okay, perfect. I'm Masa Kanbabi, and it's nice to be here, and it's a pleasure to be able to talk to John Bobbin, Cambridge Savings Bank. Thank you, Dan, for that introduction. So, John, tell us, well, first, thank you for sponsoring today, but tell us a little bit about the mission of Cambridge Savings Bank and how it might fit into the Metro South community mission.
Sure, thanks, Masa. Pleasure to be here today to enjoy this luncheon with everybody. Cambridge Savings Bank has been around since 1834. We've been a mutual bank ever since. We operate independently, and one of our key missions is a focus on quality of life and the financial well-being of our core constituencies, which we consider to be our customers, certainly, the communities in which we serve, and our employees. As was mentioned, Dan mentioned, we're a $6 billion bank, just recently surpassed $6 billion in assets. 18 branches serving suburban Boston locations. And through recent growth, really we've been able to generate record earnings, which has transpired into an ability to reinvest back into communities, both through our lending efforts as well as our contributions to charitable organizations.
Thank you. Congratulations on the $6 billion mark.
Thank you.
Now, how would you say that Cambridge Savings Bank helps drive the local economy? You were talking about reinvesting, so tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. We view the local economy as really the lifeblood, the focus of our mission, and specifically, we take a particular focus in small businesses. Small businesses, in Massachusetts, I think there's around 700,000 small businesses. Small businesses employ roughly 1.5 million people in Massachusetts. That's about 45% of employees in Massachusetts. So it's a particularly important area of focus for us. And certainly in the Metro South here, we pay close attention to the small business community. We have a dedicated team of bankers that are focused on small businesses, delivering the appropriate products and financing solutions for whatever whatever period of business is in its business cycle. And they operate as trusted advisors, getting to know those business owners, very closely and understanding those businesses so that they can deliver the right products and solutions. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think for the Metro South region, we have so many small businesses, from mom and pop restaurants to, large cleaning services and, Montilio's Bakery. So it's nice to know that Cambridge Savings Bank, while it says Cambridge, they reach this area, so it's good to know that. And so the last question is to tell us a little bit about, with the issues facing the Massachusetts housing market, right? It's very expensive, there's just lack of housing. How can Cambridge Savings Bank help? And especially, I think these days, the second part is, with CD and money market rates rising, is Cambridge Savings Bank offering any specials?
Yeah, Masa, you bring up, it's a very important topic these days, the lack of affordable housing in Massachusetts. Home prices and rents have been increasing faster than wage growth, which places a lot of pressure on particularly first-time buyers and renters, and becomes exacerbated for folks in the low-income and middle-income brackets. So at Cambridge Savings Bank, there's a couple areas where we try to focus on the problem of affordable housing. One being we have one being the supply side. We have a very seasoned commercial real estate lending team, and I want to say since 2010, they've financed roughly 60 affordable housing projects, roughly $200 million in lending, financing, and then roughly 1,500 housing units, whether it be apartments, condos, or homes, affordable homes. So it's a particular area of focus for our commercial real estate team, and it's important for that business unit. We also look to develop innovative and flexible lending solutions for affordable housing. We'll look to do loans with low to no down payment for those that qualify. We'll also work closely with Mass Housing and other government-sponsored entities to put together programs that are specifically aligned for financing affordable housing. So, and I would say finally, a big area of focus is supporting, a handful of nonprofit organizations that are focused on affordable housing, and we support them in a number of ways. One being through volunteerism. Another big aspect of supporting nonprofits is through financial education programs. And finally, through our foundation, through charitable contributions. So, through those efforts, we, as well as our competitive institutions out there, hope to make significant inroads in the affordability of housing in Massachusetts. So, and then on deposit rates, certainly, as rates as we've entered this rising interest rate environment and rates have been coming up, Cambridge Savings Bank, like most of our competitors, have had to get aggressive on rates to make sure we're bringing in deposits. So we have a number of options with attractive rates, we believe. Certainly, if you have cash, we'd like to take your deposits.
Thank you, John. And I mean, I can say from my own personal experience, having elderly parents who are looking to downsize, and my son graduating from grad school, affordable housing is so important, and it's really nice to see that the banks are paying more attention to this issue and not looking at it as like it's a stigmatized group of people that we shouldn't work with. So it's really nice to see. Thank you for your efforts. Thank you for coming today and speaking with us. And as a token of our appreciation, I have a pen for you.
Thank you.
So you can sign those deposit slips as they come in. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
thank you, John, and thank you, Masa. What do we got here? One facing down. How about that? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Masa. Thank you, John. Cambridge Savings, www.cambridgesavings.com. If you want to look it up, John's on the website and all the stuff, a lot of the information that he just talked about. So thank you for sharing that. Now we're going to get into our panel. Treasurer first, yep, here we go. So I'm pleased to welcome the Office of the State Treasurer and Receiver General to talk about a new innovative business assistance program. So for the State Treasurer's Office, I'm going to please welcome Liz Gomes and Michael McLeish to come up here to be interviewed by Masa again. They're actually presenting. Okay, there we go.
I'm just gonna lower this. Can you guys hear me? Yes. Perfect. Thank you, Dan. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Liz Gomes, and I'm a Deputy Chief of Staff and one of the members of our Small Business Initiative team at the Massachusetts State Treasurer's Office. Today, I'm here with my colleague, Michael McLeish. So before I start, I wanted to thank the Metro South Chamber of Commerce, the President, Chris Cooney, and the team for having us here today. I also wanted to say thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon, including all the elected officials. Big shout out to Moses over there. So under the leadership of Treasurer Deb Goldberg, a group of Treasury employees, including myself and Michael, were tasked to identify opportunities within our Treasury Small Business Banking Partnership Program, which some of you guys here might know about it if you're a banker, to provide additional support to small businesses in Massachusetts, offering greater access to financial tools to ensure we are building a more equitable future. Thanks to many collaborations with different community partners, small business owners themselves, banks, we developed a small business resource toolkit website. We are really excited to present that to you today. We'll do a website walkthrough, and the first slide is going to show you guys a welcome video from the treasurer herself.
Hi there, and welcome to the Office of the State Treasurer's Small Business Resource Toolkit. I am your treasurer, Deb Goldberg, and our team understands the importance of building a support network for small business owners in Massachusetts. We hope that this toolkit will provide valuable information that supports you in how to plan, maintain, grow, and achieve success. Local business owners contribute so much to our economy, playing a vital role in the long-term prosperity of our communities and state. Our goal is to empower entrepreneurs to achieve economic stability, security, and opportunity now and in the future. As you navigate through the toolkit, make sure to visit the resource map to locate banks and community partners in your area. And if you have any questions at all or feedback, please contact us, and we will work hard to assist you. So thank you for visiting, and I hope you enjoyed this toolkit.
So that was our quick welcome video, which you guys can see on the website. Next, we have a quick snapshot of the major categories and subcategories on our website. But we also wanted you to see and have a feel of how the website looks like, so we'll be going through some of the pages and the content. So as you can see at the top, we have 4 main categories: planning, funding, managing your business, as well as small business accounting. Each category has several subcategories. There's a lot of content related to small business, as you all know. And so it was important that the toolkit featured key information in a way that it was easy to follow. So we start by giving a brief description, then examples. So for example, planning your business. It includes sections such as business plans, steps to registering your business, On business plan, if you scroll down, you can see we have templates for reference. And these collaborations happen with a variety of banks, including Harbor One, and SBA and such sort. Michael, you can go to funding your business. You'll find information on different ways you can finance your business, including traditional and non-traditional methods, as well as information on a variety of grants from public, government-funded to private grant opportunities. Managing your business features a section on succession planning. We provided an in-house succession planning template that folks can refer to, as well as there's a dedicated section on planning for unforeseeable events, which unfortunately we all had to experience during the pandemic in the last couple of years. Then we jump to small business accounting. It also presents an interesting topic such as federal and local procurement. It describes the different types of procurements and lists the state's procurement record system, combis. We noticed that many small businesses wanted to become vendors with a state or local municipalities, but didn't know how to go about it. So we hope this section can provide more details. Our website is something that we're very proud of. Includes a first of its kind small business resource map, which I will quickly show you before handing over to Michael. He's going to cover any more details, how the map works. We wanted to make sure the map was accessible in different sections on the website, so I'll show you 3 ways you can access it. Michael, if you go back to the website, please. Thank you. So you can access it from the home page. It has small business resource map. Then you have the banner right in the middle of the website. And then under planning your business category, there's also a tab. So if you click on that tab, it brings you to the actual resource map. We have a video that describes how to use the map. If you scroll down a little bit, we also offer an option for you to just read the instructions, making sure it's a little bit more inclusive. And if you click on the left, which is the map, then you can actually see the map, which we have open, and Michael's going to describe how it works. So I'll let Michael continue the presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael McLeish, the Outreach Manager for the State Treasurer's Office of Economic Empowerment. Myself and Liz have collaborated on this SBI initiative, and I'm hoping that you guys are satisfied with what we present today. So let me just quickly explain the map to you guys. So once you go into the map, it will show you several towns in cities throughout the state. Now, the towns and cities that are in the high blue color will pretty much represent the towns and cities that have the highest number of resources. So as you can see, some of the bigger cities, Worcester, Springfield, Boston, and even Brockton, are going to be highly populated with a lot of resources. You also have the ability to zoom in and out. So if you're in Brockton, you can sort of, when you're zoomed out, you won't be able to see all of your resources, but once you zoom in, you can sort of get a clear picture of what resources and where they're located, approximately to where your business is located or your bank. And if you have the name of the organization or bank in mind, you can feel free to enter the address into the search bar. The system will display all of the information related to that resource in a pop-up window. Okay, so the legend button actually, so I'm going to point out a few features of the map. So the legend button will be a blue square with 3 bullet points to see color codes for resources counts and resource categories. So you'll be able to sort of filter and see what's going to be available in terms of like the resources that's offered in that particular location. And the filter button will also allow you to filter the locations, zip codes, and also the resources that are available. So if you automatically just want to see all of the best resources related to some of the like Boston and Cambridge, you can just filter it and filter those 2 cities, and then you'll be able to see those resources available there. And yeah, the info button will pretty much also give you more information on how to use the site, and sort of remind you about what the filter button will be used for, and also the legend button as well. And as I mentioned before, each colored dot represents a category. So, for example, the blue category will show you a business association, and the subcategory that it belongs to, it will tell you specifically what kind of services are offered. And I can't see, sorry guys. Okay, yeah, so the attribute button. So there's several different ways you can sort of view the map. So you can sort of pan to, once you click on the pan to button, it will automatically go to where on the map that business is located. You can also add a marker to save resources for later to view them at another time, and or the options, and or then you can save resources for another time, and there's several more additional tools. And so the options button on the left corner of the data table, if you are like a visual learner, you can click this options button and it sort of will export all the data that you're looking for. You can save it on your computer or print it out. And as you can see at the bottom, if you want to scan the QR code, it will take you straight to the website. And thank you. Myself and Liz are here to answer any questions, and our contact information is up there. You can scan the QR code to go to the website. And like I said, our contacts are here if you guys have any follow-up questions.
Thank you very much. Come on up for a minute. Stay right up here for a quick sec, I have, you want to say something?
Oh, no.
Oh, you're here for your gift, I know.
No, I was here with my documents.
I'm kidding, you want to take those?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. In appreciation, the Chamber would like to present you with this small gift.
you.
Both Michael and Liz. It's not often that somebody can get up here and talk and also do the IT, and they both did that, so that was a great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that presentation can be found at masstreasury.org. Is that correct, Mike and Liz? masstreasury.org?
Small business.
Small business?
ma.org.
ma.org. Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
If anybody said, that's a great presentation. I went on that website, and there's lots of information from the Treasurer's Office on there, including this nice presentation, so thank you very much. Since the pandemic has subsided, many of us have been returning to social events like this one in our favorite places, like this one, like museums and the like. What we are learning is that many places have had new faces leading them since the pandemic. Today we have with us several new leaders who have been recently selected for their current positions. At this time, I would like to introduce our new faces panel for this afternoon. This is a new feature for the Chamber. This panel will be expertly moderated by Masa again. And I'd ask all three of the participants come on up, and I'll have you wave once you come on up. So come on up and have a seat, and I'll introduce you. Originally, we had like 8 pages of bio information here. These are very accomplished people. So when you get to know them and ask them some questions, they are very skilled at what they do and have significant amount of accomplishments. So first on our panel, I would like to introduce Executive Director of the Fuller Craft Museum, Aaron McHugh. Aaron has been a museum professional for 23 years and is a resident of the South Shore. Please welcome Aaron McHugh. Next on our panel, I'd like to introduce the Executive Director of the Children's Museum of Easton, Christine Santoro. Christine holds numerous degrees in education, psychology, and law, and became the Executive Director in May of 2021. Finally, I'd like to introduce to the panel Glenn Parsons, CEO of SCU Credit Union. Glenn has over 20 years of executive leadership experience and earned his BA from Harvard University and an MBA from Northeastern University. Please welcome Glenn Parsons. And with that, I'll turn it over to Masa.
Hello again. When Chris asked me to do this panel and told me who was going to be on it, I was super excited for a number of reasons. One, because I used to serve on the board of the Children's Museum and worked closely with Christine, and was so delighted when I learned that she had become executive director. And so it's fantastic to be able to talk to her today and share her leadership. And I've always really loved the Fuller Craft Museum, and of course during COVID didn't have a chance to go there, and hope to make it this week to go and see the amazing selection of gifts they have. And of course, SCU has always been a great supporter of Metro South, and so it's wonderful to have you all here today to be able to talk to you. And this, hopefully, New Faces panel is going to be something that we'll be able to continue throughout the year. It's a fantastic way for the Metro South Chamber to bring together new faces and existing faces, and for all of us to get to network and learn about folks in our community. So we're going to start off with just a couple of questions, and what we're going to do is we're going to start with Erin. I'll ask her 3 questions, and then we'll move on to Christine and have her talk about the same issues. They will be available after the panel, so you can get into a deeper conversation with them afterwards. Okay, so the first question, Erin, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Am I supposed to talk in this?
Oh, yes, please. Oh, this one?
There you go. Hello, everyone. I'm Erin McHugh. I am the Executive Director of Fuller Craft Museum, and I'm really pleased to be here today. Thank you all for the invitation to speak. As was mentioned a few moments ago, I have been in museums for many years. I've worked in a wide variety of museums, from art museums to history museums to anthropological museums and even a whaling museum. So I've worked with all different types of communities and collections, and that was really important to me because my professional training is as a museum collections manager and registrar, so responsible for the care and the shipping and the insurance and the safe maintenance of objects while they're in the museum, and the safe installation and implementation of exhibitions as well. So even within that artistic world, my background is very project-oriented, my background's very detail-oriented, and about 10 years ago, I migrated into administration. I became the executive director of a historical society here on the South Shore, managing multiple historic house museums, an archival library, and some land and conservation as well. I've been at Fuller Craft Museum for almost 1 year. I'm a few weeks shy of 1 year, and it has been an incredible experience being a part of this community. So thank you for having me.
I'm going to have to pass this back and forth. Thank you. That's fascinating, and can't wait to hear about the Whaling Museum later. So tell us a little bit about your journey into this position now from all of the prior positions you've had, and what are you most excited about for the Fuller Craft Museum position?
I was thinking on this question, preparing to come in. You know, I entered the museum field a long time ago, very young, and at the time it was a personal choice. I loved museums, I didn't want to enter academia, and as a collections manager, there's something really special about being in the quiet, silent storage rooms, and all these treasures are available to you on the shelves. But of course, as you mature into your career and as you work for a variety of institutions, you realize that museums are at the heart of a really important conversation about who we want to be as a community, what we want to support, and what we value. And the last 20 years in particular have been very tumultuous in that regard. Social, economic, political change. The last couple of years have been incredibly important in terms of being change makers. And as I looked at what my next position would be, to answer your question, I felt like I really wanted to be at an institution that was ready to be part of that conversation, was ready to really examine and become an important, relevant part of its community, that had done the hard work to get to that place, that would embrace change and embrace what's coming in the future, because a lot of things are changing for nonprofits in the future. The nature of philanthropic giving is revolutionizing in the next 20 years, and we all need to be ready to step up and meet those challenges and to be responsible neighbors in our communities as well. I felt like Fuller was the place to be for that, and I felt like Brockton was a community that was engaged in those conversations as well.
Thank you, Erin. Well, I think the Fuller Craft Museum is going to be served very well by your leadership and innovation in these difficult times. Okay, so we're going to go to Christine now. Christine, I know a lot about you, but maybe you could tell the audience a bit about yourself and your background.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me here. I'm very excited to be here. I was born and bred in Brockton, and I'm very proud of it. It's always been one of my favorite places, although I lived in Easton for 25 years. And now have a home in Beverly, but I also still own property in Brockton. I bought my parents' house just a little while ago. I graduated from local schools. I went to St. Edward's, which was now Trinity Catholic, and Cardinal Spellman High School. And then I went to Bridgewater State University for my undergraduate and graduate degrees. I taught in Brockton kindergarten for 11 years. And that really opened my eyes to so many things in the city of Brockton. Number one, how terrific the education system is here, and it still is. I've always been so proud of that and always tell people that. And the museum, we do work with the city of Brockton and many other school systems, because not only do we have our museum, but we also do outreach. And I'll talk more about that later. But in terms of my own history, I did practice law. I went to law school, practiced law for many years, having my own practice, and then became interested in the nonprofit world. Back in 2016, I was invited to join the board of directors at the museum, which I did. And it's wonderful. I mean, I really enjoy being on the board and helping to move the museum forward. We got a new director who was there for a few years and made lots of different improvements in the museum, which has always been a treasure. Because it opened in 1991 and has been consistent ever since. But then during the pandemic, our director resigned, and I was asked to step in. And so, starting in May of 2021, I became the director. And as many of you know, during COVID, all businesses, of course, suffered. But museums and nonprofits really did, because it was hard to fundraise during that period of time. The museum was closed for 8 months during that period of time. And so slowly we've rebuilt, and now we're open full time. Really, what we're experiencing now is many younger children coming in. I mean, our constituents really are 1 to 7-year-olds, but now we're seeing many, many more younger children who have not had experiences in any place, really. They were home with their families during the pandemic. And now they're coming into the museum, and I mean, they're delighted. But it's the first time that they're interacting with other children, and their parents are interacting with other parents. So it's been really an incredible year and a half for me.
You can hang on to it. I got another one.
Oh.
Okay. So what are you most excited about now that COVID has kind of subsided a bit and folks are coming out to the museum? What are you most excited about?
I think I'm most excited really to do more programming for the younger children, because it's definitely needed. There aren't too many places where people can bring 1-year-olds, or sometimes we get many children who aren't even walking yet. And so what we've done, we are changing our exhibits. Not only are we doing exhibits and crafts and things like that for the older set, the 4 to 7-year-olds, but now we take those projects and we try to redo them so that the little ones can participate too. So we have a train table that's been there for many years. Well, what we did is we now have smaller ones, lower level ones, so that the 2-year-olds can stand there and play. And it really does make a difference, because they're delighted. They're just having a fun time. And I have to tell you, there's nothing, I mean, I've enjoyed my career as a lawyer, I enjoyed my career as a teacher, but nothing's more fun than working in the museum.
Thank you, Christine. And can you tell us, is there anything in the year ahead specifically that we should be looking forward to?
Well, no, part of the museum is our outside space that we call the Wild Place. And, you know, we have not been able to use it too much. We have an infestation of poison ivy at the moment over there. But we're looking to, we're going to be doing some fundraising to redo that area so we can do programming, you know, most of the year outside too, as well as inside. So that's one of the things I'm really looking forward to.
All right, thank you. And so next now, we're going to be talking to Glenn, the CEO of SCU Credit Union. And I'm going to ask the same questions. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Okay. I grew up in the local communities here. I grew up in Sharon, public school graduate, and grew up in communities. I say we used to come to Brockton all the time. That was where the movie theater was. We came over here. DW Fields Park, that's where we used to go to play, among other things. The YMCA in Brockton. So I grew up in this community. Went to college in Cambridge, Harvard, graduated a bunch of years ago. Then I earned my degree at Northeastern, my MBA in the technology focus. I spent most of my career, early in my career, in the technology industry. Did several different things, including a startup that we ended up ultimately selling to IBM, which was our plan. Subsequent to that, ran some other companies in different industries. It did quite a bit of traveling, spent a great deal of time outside of the community, Philadelphia, California, and other places. And then a little over 20 years ago or so, did become a member of the board of Sharon Credit Union. At that point, that's what we were known as before Sharon Crescent. So in parallel with my career, was a member of the board throughout, served in various capacities. And then, again, during COVID, some things changed, and while this wasn't my ultimate plan, the opportunity arose to replace our CEO who retired a little bit unexpectedly, and so I came on board approximately 90 days ago, not quite 90 days ago. And I can tell you a lot more about it if you care, you have more time, but it's a perfect fit. It feels great for a lot of different reasons. And you know, one of the things is, because of my background in various industries, those were always satisfying and rewarding in various ways. But coming back to this community and spending a great deal of time here now in a credit union, the credit union is based on members who are not owned by stockholders. We really give back to the community quite a bit, and it's just a great rewarding feeling. And I've got a bunch of our team sitting over there. They know how strongly I feel about this. Talk more about it later if you like.
Thank you. Well, I'm curious, you know, with your tech background, and of course, Massachusetts has many universities that focus now more and more on technology, from MIT to Bridgewater State. What are you most excited about in this role, and is there a way to mesh these two to make the Metro South area perhaps a hub for technology companies?
Well, clearly technology is in all of our futures, whether we want it to be or not. And it manifests itself lots of different ways. You know, at a financial institution like our own, or some of my associates here, you know, there's back office operations that constantly are being upgraded, and innovation is taking place there. But also the member experience. Again, credit unions have members, not customers. So the member experience, we spend a great deal of time focusing on, and there's various technological advances that we look at all the time. There's lots of fraud out there, so you know, safety and security is paramount. A lot of good ideas are out there that we never implement because we just think they're too risky. But we're constantly looking at ways to improve the member experience, as well as the efficiency in the back office, back room. To answer your question more specifically about the local area, that's a great question. I don't really know the answer to. I like to think that over time, we're not there yet. We've got technological plans for our branches and what have you, but I'd like to think that being a leader in that fashion, hopefully that will wear off in a few others, and good things can happen in the area.
Thank you. And so lastly, what do you, tell us maybe a little bit more about SCU, but also what can we look forward to from the organization in the year to come?
Okay, again, about SCU, I've got to say this part because it was so important to me. A few weeks ago, at the suggestion of someone on our team, before Thanksgiving, I went out to 5 different supermarkets in the local area, in Brockton, Taunton, North Attleboro, Mansfield, a few others, and had gift certificates for that particular supermarket, $150 gift certificates, and I had the opportunity to walk around and select people at random that just kind of felt to me like maybe they'd really appreciate the gift, and boy did they ever. It was remarkable. It was very moving to me, and we donate a lot of money, but I don't often see the faces. Seeing the faces and the impact it made a profound difference to me. We give money to the Boys and Girls Club here in Brockton as well, in Taunton. We've been there. It's very rewarding. I keep coming back to that. What to look for in the future? Well, certainly more of that. I guarantee you that. In terms of rising interest rates, we all know what's going on there. And I'll echo John's comments. It's a good time to deposit money because the rates are high. And even though loan rates are going higher too, a little balance there. But that's what to look forward to.
Well, while you're not wearing that Santa outfit there, it sounds like you got to play the role really well. Thank you. So while I wish I had those beautiful sweaters like Dan does to give you as a gift, I don't, unfortunately. So instead we have, as a token of our appreciation, these pens. So thank you so much for coming and sharing stories about yourselves and your organizations, and we look forward to continued involvement with your organizations. Thank you.
That was a great panel. 3 great institutions, local institutions, both museums and the credit union. So thank you for being part of our panel. I think we all want to know, Glenn, you said this is going to continue. Where are you going to be? What? That was a general question, everybody. I sensed everybody's. My wife's going to know the same thing. Okay, now it is my great pleasure to welcome back Rob DeFazio Peters, a familiar face to many of us who have attended chamber programs throughout the years. Rob will lead us through some holiday-themed networking. Rob, you're on.
I'm going to grab a louder microphone because this is an important part of what we're going to do. First of all, give yourselves a hand for being here this afternoon. It's easy when you can get out of the office, right? So it's the holiday season. What's the holiday season about? Who said gifts? All right, gift giving. You're going to give yourself a gift today, and the way you're going to do that is to start by looking on your table, picking up a bow, and attaching it to either your badge or your cloak. Now, Santa, I'm glad you stood up because this is a very important thing that we're going to do, and there's a little bit of Santa knowledge in our program this afternoon. And while you're doing that, I do want to thank Chris and the team from the Chamber for inviting me back for this part. As Chris alluded to earlier, I've moved on to a new career with the Boy Scouts of America, so I'm very excited about that, and we're doing a lot of great things. So here's the deal. I did a Google search, Santa, and I found out that the average number of presents left by Santa for each child is 3. So here's the deal. For the next few minutes, you are going to leave your tables. You are not going to talk to anybody at your table who has a matching color bow. You are going to find 2 other people in the room, or make a group of 3, of people you don't know. That's what networking is all about, okay? And you're going to have a conversation together. You're going to swap business cards. I hope you brought business cards, right? Okay. Now, what is a good networking introduction? I want to do this real quick because this is important. You obviously want to talk about who you are and where you work and what you do. You then want to tell a little bit, maybe, and ask, why do you come to these events? Are you here today looking for a particular contact for someone? Are you offering something? Okay? I heard the banks are not offering free samples today. Okay? And you're going to have that conversation, but I am going to leave you with one thing. You are all going to share with your groups your favorite holiday movie and why. Okay? We're going to do this in a couple of different ways. We're going to give you 15 minutes right now to get together with a group and have these conversations. Again, with nobody at your table, match up the color bow with somebody else in the room, make a group of 3, and have a discussion. All right, folks. How many of you, by a show of hands, made a connection of somebody that you are going to be able to follow up with and have a direct opportunity to do business with them? How many of you made an indirect connection, meaning it's somebody that might know somebody that might benefit you in the long run? Thank you. All right. We're going to do this again in a minute, but I do need everybody's attention, especially if you want to win something. Yeah, everybody says winning's good. If winning is good to you, everybody clap your hands. Louder. 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 All right, perfect. So here's the deal. Everybody take a seat and let me tell you how we're going to give stuff away. And I got to do this really quick. Alright, everybody, listen carefully. I'm going to give stuff away right now. Listen very carefully. First of all, you need to be the first person to come up with whatever I ask for. Okay? There's no ties. There's no pushing, shoving, hair pulling for those of you that have hair. Or anything like that, okay? You have to be the first person to present whatever I ask for. Are you ready? If you're ready, say yeah. Louder, let me hear you. All right, first thing, and you got to be the first person to come up here and show it to me. I am looking for somebody who on their cell phone has a contact whose first name begins with the letter Z. Hurry up, you got to bring it up here. And you gotta show it to me first. Don't look through. First one to show me. Right here. Go on over and get a prize. Give her a hand. No, well done. Well done. You gotta do the first one. All right, next one. You ready? Next one. First person to come up and show me that they have a candy cane on their person. Come on. Santa. Nothing? A candy cane on your person. Who's got it? Hurry up, they're all gonna get the idea. What do you got? All right, that's a candy cane on your person. Technically, it's on your cell phone. Give her a hand, she was creative, she gets a prize. We're gonna pass. All right, next thing we're looking for, you ready? Is going to be a picture of you and your pet. Picture of you and your pet, you gotta hurry. Actually, you know what? You gotta come find me, and that way I can be fair to the people in the back of the room. You gotta come up, hurry up. Alright, you can go to the prize, and so can you, because you two are tied. Go have a seat, we're all good. Alright. That's 4, right? Catherine, that's 4, right? We've already given away 4 prizes, or? Oh, hang on, you're about to get 2 more. Here they go. All right, next thing we're looking for. How are you? I'm fantastic. Next thing we're looking for is... See, I can't do the difficult ones, because the difficult ones, we've got the same kind of classes, so you wouldn't win anything extra. Next thing we're going to look for is supermarket coupons. On paper. Paper supermarket coupons. And you have to find me in the room. Here's my winner right here. Here's my winner. Go ahead and get a prize. I'm spreading the wealth. They can be inspired, I don't care. All right. If you have, you ready? Here we go. Next prize. I'm going to do 6 more of these, so we're going to move this along. A movie or concert ticket stub. It can be on your phone if you got it. A movie or a concert ticket stub. What do you got? Jim, what do you got? That counts. Give Jim a hand right up here. If you have a piece, we call it swag, right? A piece of swag from a Boston radio station. Keyring. People are, like, the ladies are about to dump their purses out on the table. And I'm making it difficult for my friends from Brockton Community Access. He's getting dizzy following me around the world. Nobody? All right, here we go. Credit card with the sports team logo on it. Who's got it? Somebody's got to have one. You got one? Hang on. Hang on, you know what? If there's more than one to move this along, we'll do that. All right, hang on. Everybody write this number down. I'm just kidding. Who else has one? Come on. Go ahead. 1, 2, hang on, everybody else. Going once. Going twice. You two can go get prizes. Give them a hand. All right. You ready? This next one. How many more we got? I lose count after a while. I have 5 more left. Here we go. Tube of chapstick. It's got to be authentic chapstick. You got to find me in the room. You got to bring it to me in the room. You got to bring it to me in the room. That's not chapstick. Sit down. That's not chapstick. Sit down. Sit down. It's going to be chapstick. It's actually going to say the words chapstick on it. It doesn't say chapstick. Who's got chapstick? Nobody? It's going to say chapstick. You got one? But it's chapstick. Come on. Chapstick, go, get a prize. Chapstick, go, get a prize. Go ahead. All right, that's 2. We got 4 more to go, right? 2 more to go. All right, the last 2 prizes. Listen carefully. Everybody in the room, stand up. And if your birthday is not in the month of October, sit down. Not in the month of October. If your Halloween is between the 20th and the 30th, sit down. October 20th and 30th, if that's when your birthday is, sit down. All right, what are we down to? We're down to 3. 4, 3? Are you still in? What's your... You go right over here to Cap. Go on over to get your prize. Where? Hang on, we down to final 3? You 3, come on up here. Because one of you is going to sit down empty-handed. Actually, no, you know what? We got enough prizes, right? All right, you know what? Give these 3 a round of applause. They won the rest of our prize. Go ahead, go. Okay. Can I have a t-shirt thrown down here so I can hook this young lady up right here? who's doing Santa Claus's job today, giving all this stuff out, but more importantly, folks, from everybody at the Chamber and myself and everybody at the Mayflower Council of the Boy Scouts of America, happy holidays to all of you. Don't go anywhere, because we're going to give away one more thing. Do you want me to do that other thing? Yes. All right. The person at each table whose birthday is the closest to today without going over gets to take home, provided you are of age. Sorry, it's the entertainer in me. We have to do it. You get to take home that bottle of wine in the middle of your tables. Figure out who it is at your table and take it home. Ken, it's all yours, buddy.
Okay, here we are, just about to wrap up. Thanks for your attention. Rob, great job. Let's give Rob a big hand. I was talking to Rob earlier. He said he's been doing this for 35 years. So that's a long time. Clearly, he's very good at it, but he's moving on to join the Scouts organization. So I think you're wrapping up in the next 12 months. Is that correct, Rob?
Next 12 months, my last event is next September 30th.
Next up, can you still book you, or?
Not very well.
Evidently not. Evidently not. He says, no. Yes, okay. So if you want to see him after, get a hold of him and book your next event. He does a fantastic job. So a couple announcements here, and then we'll get you on your way. And I think we're right on time, so that's great. The Chamber's next event is our January Good Day Metro South Luncheon, which will be held at the Martin Institute at Stonehill College, 11:45 to 1:30 on Friday, January 27th. So mark your calendars, January 27th. This program will feature the new Dean of Business at Stonehill College, a segment of the new state coordinated health insurance for small businesses in Mass, and the former chief economist of the Federal Reserve of Boston. Wow, former chief economist. Did he get kicked out, or is he still? He's with Eastern Bank. Okay, well, he went to the private sector. Okay, so now he's getting paid. Looking ahead, February Good Day Metro South Luncheon in partnership with the Rotary Club of Brockton to be held here at the Thorny Lee Golf Club. So in February, there will be another one. Also in early March, the 8th Annual Multicultural Business Panel and Expo will be here at Thorny Lee. It's always a great event. Watch your email for more details on these programs and more information helpful to your business and organization. So each day, I think we just gave away our prizes. I just want to have a couple thank yous. Thank you to today's ambassador team. If you were an ambassador, wave your hand so people know who you were. Thank you very much. And then hold your applause for the rest of this. The Brockton Community Access Channel, thank you very much. You won a prize. That's what you get. That's your pay for today. The Enterprise News, Chamber staff and members, Chris Cooney and his staff, thank you very much. Today's sponsor is Cambridge Savings Bank. Remember, if you have cash there or at the credit union, bring your cash. And finally, thank you to our speakers, John Bobbin from Cambridge Savings Bank, Liz Gomes and Michael McLeish from the Office of State Treasurer and Receiver General, Christine Santoro of the Children's Museum of Easton, Aaron McHugh, Fuller Craft Museum, and Glenn Parsons from SEU Credit Union, and of course Rob DeFazio of the Scouts BSA for being with us here today. Let's give him a round of applause. And that's all I have. I was at my table. I said, should I tell another joke? And they said no. So that's it. There's no more jokes. We're out. Have a great day. Thank you very much.